Here's the audience for my speech. The obesity percentages have skyrocketed in the past decade. Today, more than 1/3 of Americans are considered to be obese. Obesity is a serious problem in our nation. I'm very familiar with the facts and statistics that go along with obesity because I took a course in my undergrad career which focused heavily on adult and childhood obesity. Obesity is also accompanied with some serious medical diseases, including high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, stroke, heart disease, and cancer. Obesity is a serious problem. We've established this so far. So now we have to isolate and find out the causes of obesity in order to come up with a proper solution. So now I'm going to present two different causes of obesity. Two different causes are poor nutrition and lack of physical activity. First, I'm going to go into more detail about the poor nutrition. So the amount of fast food restaurants has increased dramatically in the past decade. More people are eating fast food. What does this mean? Fast food makes it easier for people to get their food quicker. But the problem with this is that this is the type of food that has a lot of calories and little nutritional value. I took a poll of my classmates, and 67% of my classmates admitted that they eat out at a fast food restaurant at least 2 times per week. Another problem with poor nutrition habits is many people fail to read the nutrition labels on their food items. So when they're going to choose a food item, they may think that something's healthy, but in fact, it might not be at all. So for example, if you think that you want to bypass the soda and the pop and go for, say, iced tea, because you think that this is better for you, this might not be the case. In front of me, I have 2 different types of iced tea. The one on my right is only 70 calories though, and the one on my left is 220. The one on my right only has 18 grams of sugar, whereas this one on my left has 58 grams. So as you can see by the cups of sugar, there's a considerable difference between 2 items that are both considered iced tea. Now I want to go into a little bit more detail about physical inactivity. The American College of Sports Medicine recommends that all adults engage in a total of 150 minutes of physical activity each week. Now the problem is more than half of the adults today do not engage in this regular physical activity. And a large part of this sedentary behavior, or the large part of the lack of physical activity in most Americans, can be attributed to the increase in technology. So what do I mean by this increase in technology? More people are sitting down, watching TV, playing computer games, browsing the internet, anything that has to do with screens, instead of engaging in physical activity. So now that I've discussed possible causes of obesity, I'm going to go into more detail about finding the solutions to help prevent this obesity epidemic. So both nutrition and exercise are key in fighting the obesity epidemic. Restaurants play a very important nutritional role in fighting this epidemic. So many individuals like to go out to eat periodically throughout the week. And one thing that many of us should recognize, if we don't know already, is that when we do go out to eat, restaurants tend to serve very large portion sizes. Now the problem with large portion sizes is with a larger portion comes more calories, with more calories and an excess amount of caloric intake, you're going to eventually gain weight. And so one way to prevent this is by cutting your meal in half, not eating your whole plate, saving some for the next day. Also, we need to look for the healthier options on the menu. And this can be a problem trying to identify what exactly the healthiest option is. Because as we learned from our example, what we think is healthy might not actually be the healthiest option. So how can we prevent this? By restaurants having the nutrition facts for us, so that way we can see what the actual calorie content and the other breakdowns for the nutrition is for each food item. Fortunately, there are some restaurants that have provided this information for us, and hopefully all restaurants will adopt this same method. Next, I want to talk to you about exercise. Exercise plays a very important role as well in decreasing the obesity epidemic. Recall from before that half of Americans do not engage in regular physical activity. So our communities should strive to emphasize the importance of physical activity. So they can do this by encouraging less screen time. Less screen time meaning not watching as much TV, trying not to get on the computer as much, not playing video games, etc. Also, they should strive to participate in outdoor family activities such as bike riding, hiking, or walking. Another way would be including fitness tips and facts in a weekly newsletter. That will help re-emphasize the importance of physical activity and exercise. So in conclusion, we must put an end to the rise in the obesity epidemic. And more importantly, we can do this by adopting a healthier lifestyle, which includes eating healthier and exercising more regularly. Thank you.
Good.